Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Fun Show here at Big TV. Michael Sallin is once more using the black and white keys to find a tune on the Kira keyboard. I'm still Arch O'Reilly, nothing you can do about it. And sitting between us once again is Susan Harrington. And we have a collection of the various and sundry newsprint things and any number of interesting stories going on.
Tell me about that little girl.
What little girl? Here's one from left field.
Oh, you remember that? The one I told you about, the 9-year-old girl from Billerica.
Oh.
Who grew the 55-pound cabbage. and then
And was this a St. Patty's Day special?
That's a good question. But her family detests eating cabbage.
I can understand it, and the whole neighborhood detests having it cooked.
So they said to her, "What are you gonna get back into it next year?" And she said, "Yes, I'm gonna."
I'm gonna have a bigger one.
No, she says, "I'm gonna raise strawberries."
Strawberries? An 18-pound strawberry.
I know.
A 55-pound strawberry.
Well,
Maybe.
relatively speaking.
All right.
I know they have these big contests for the biggest pumpkin, but
Yeah,
I didn't know
exactly,
they had one for the biggest cabbage on things.
Well, now you
So
know.
this is the March 18th
Okay.
edition of the Fun Show. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Yesterday in Suffolk County was Evacuation Day.
That's right.
And once again, my alter ego, Henry Knox, was up on the top, and I have a nice picture with the mayor
Good.
up there, and so that was nice. And once again, the Shirley Eustace House hosted the celebrants at the end of the day's activities, and so that was nice. In the meantime, we, in the endless stream of sad news and occasions in the world, we had another white supremacist nut job who traveled from Australia to New Zealand to kill, I guess it's now 50 people,
Wow,
as it stands.
Yeah, I'm not going to say his name.
And
This son of a gun.
and the press asked the occupant of the White House whether white supremacist violence was a concern. And he said, no, not at all. No, it's just a very small group of people who are very, very troubled. Once again,
of which he belongs.
it's his base. It's his base.
It's his people.
It's like his saying it, in what was Charlottesville? Is that what it
Yeah.
was? Good people on both sides.
That's right.
And that monstrosity, the failed wax image of oh boy, I always forget his name. The head of the Rolling Stones,
Oh, I don't know.
Mick Jagger?
Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne Conway is a half-melted Mick Jagger from the Wax Museum. She decided that
Right,
she
she does.
needed to protect her boss and God. So she gave a long speech saying, well, you're just cherry picking from the manifesto. Everybody should read the entire manifesto, in spite of the fact that all responsible people are trying to keep people from reading
Yeah.
the manifesto. And this was her two-part defense of Donald J. Trump. You read the whole thing and it only mentions Trump once. And how can you say that he was inspired by Trump when he himself says that he's not a conservative and he's not a Nazi? Translation, Kellyanne, you just said that your boss is a Nazi. That's exactly what you said. There's no other way to read it. It's right.
Yeah.
It's probably the first true thing Kellyanne Conway has ever said since we heard of her.
She was just dealing in fake news, but it turned out to be real news.
He also decided to attack. He had a good attack weekend. because he decided to attack Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Biden did make a Freudian slip of the tongue
One thing
when he said, I'm the most progressive of all the candidates running for, who might run for president.
Yeah.
And he jumped on this. Now, for him to jump on somebody for a slip of the tongue is the height
Pot,
of...
meat, kettle.
He said-
Yes. Pot, meat, kettle.
He said the vice president was a decent sort.
But he says that his thing was that Joe Biden, a low IQ individual, which made me realize that this is one of his favorite phrases.
It is.
Low IQ.
Hello, IQ.
Who uses that phrase? Other than Donald Trump, whoever uses that phrase? A low
Someone
IQ
with a low
individual. I can only imagine that he heard this his whole life growing up. I suspect his father said that to him at least once a week, if not once a day.
Well,
Donald, you're just a low IQ person.
what do you think about Pence went to Ireland and he met the Prime Minister of Ireland?
Did he now?
And he met his husband.
That's what it is. I read
And
it
what
too.
did he do?
Couldn't do anything. He's probably got whiter than his hair.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, I said, "Oh my God, there is a God.
You know
There
what?
is a God."
You know what would be worse for Pence? He met the Prime Minister and her wife.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What would he do then, since he can't be in a room with
Yeah.
with just a woman?
Oh, when I saw that and it said the Prime Minister of Dublin and his husband, I went, OMG.
Well, here's
So Donnie also decided to attack a man who has been called his kryptonite, which is McCain.
Oh.
And he attacked McCain
Well,
again
apparently
for a
he
number
is,
of
because
things.
the poor man is dead and he's still.
Still
Yep.
handling
Singing him.
Yeah, still
So
handling.
Megan McCain really took him on with exact precision. She says it's a real tragedy that you spend your whole weekends, instead of with your family and children, obsessing over my family, obsessing over a great man, because he knows, and I know that he will never be a great man. It just shows how pathetic his life is.
Well,
Bravo, Megan. Bravo.
well, he'll say, I still got those 60 million voters. They're sticking with me. I can kill anybody I want. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
The only problem is that's nowhere near a majority.
Well, maybe they'll go
He
out.
still thinks that winning absolved him of everything. Right?
Well,
Well, it was rigged. That whole
gonna
thing.
say,
He's
yeah.
telling us it was rigged. Don't you remember? That the whole election was rigged, and then he wins.
yeah, it was going to be rigged. Somebody messed up the rigging.
Okay, here's one. It's sad. It's a woman named Nasrin Sotoudeh, and she was in prison, and now she's back in prison. She's a human rights lawyer in Iran, believe it or not. And then anyways, she was. It says here. She says charges of colluding against the system and insulting the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and she has already been convicted in absence. She's not there. They had a trial and they convicted her, and they gave her the total of 38 years.
So why'd she go back?
Wait a minute. They let her out, but then they put her back in. They found these other things.
Well, then why did they convict her in absentia?
Well, I can't answer these questions. Propaganda. They said she's guilty of propaganda, and she didn't wear that thing around her head. And,
how do you say it?
so besides all these 38 years that she's supposed to serve, she's got 2 kids. She's supposed to have 148 lashes to be flogged.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the news from Iran. I thought you might like that.
That was considered a lethal sentence in the British Army in the 18th century.
Yeah.
But
What can you say?
imagine if we had similar laws here. What would happen to Kellyanne? However, Donnie really wants to have the same laws. He now wants the FCC and Congress to investigate Saturday Night Live for making fun of him.
Well, they should.
You don't have to investigate. Just turn on the TV every Saturday night.
This can't be legal.
He's
Can't, it's
guilty.
collusion. It was so funny.
They
just
need
to
to
show
then play
how,
the episode that the clown was on, because he was host. That clown was a host once.
what they did is they replayed that one where they had,
It's a wonderful
Trump.
Yeah, the Christmas one.
And he went crazy again, so much so that he was saying that it's obviously collusion with the Democrats and the Russians. Investigate them. The FCC should shut them down.
He's had all
Has
these-
this man ever heard of the Constitution of the United States?
Yeah, but what about these things he's doing with the Chinese trade? And the Chinese trade is slowing down and collapsing to some extent. And also,
Our largest buyer of soybeans historically is now buying no soybeans from the United States.
But here's something that's even was in the New York Times.
But now
also.
Trump wants to take public monies and give it to the farmers to compensate them for his messing up the market. Only now, I think that money he wanted to give to the farmers, he's now taking for his wall.
Yeah.
He also in China, as bad as the economic things that are happening there, they have a declining birth rate.
In China?
In China.
Well, they were telling him you can't
Well,
have more than one
they're
kid.
working awful hard on it.
Yeah.
They've been working for decades on it.
Because now the law there is 2 kids per family they could have.
Yeah.
But now they're going
It used to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's 2. But then they're going to change that now, and they want to see if they wipe out these things that are preventing people from having a bigger family. Things will get better.
Well, what they're finding is that as their population gets older, there's nobody to take care of these older
Yes,
people.
that's
So
a
it's
big
like,
part.
whoops, we forgot about.
We
they
better
had
make
had-
a few more.
Yeah.
Get more gray hairs.
But it's going to take them the better part of 2 decades to get old enough
They
to
gotta
take care of
yeah,
anybody,
they gotta
right?
start somewhere.
Well, and they said it's going to be a dwindling workforce, and they have to have more people. There it is.
I feel real sorry for them. They only have 2 billion
Yeah.
people to start with.
They're paying
you know.
12 cents an hour.
Well, you got this fella named
12 cents an hour?
Well, they're not paying
They
them.
put that up too, right?
Gavin Newsom.
Never heard of him.
He's the governor of California.
Really?
Yeah. He's,
Yeah,
Really?
I was surprised. For some reason, I didn't realize Jerry was already out.
Oh, I thought the governor of California was Jerry Brown.
Yeah.
Shows how old I am.
He announced that there's going to be no new executions in his state.
Boy, that's kind of behind the curve, isn't it?
Well,
But they're not the heavy hitters with the sizzle chair. It's Texas, you know.
The sizzle seat.
Yeah, the sizzle seat. That's Texas.
anyways, it's a reprieve to 737 inmates who are on death's row, which is pretty good. That's
Well, the thing is, the problem in part is that the people that have been convicted to death, it seems to me that they take at least 20 years to actually ever be executed.
well, that's it.
And
They get-
almost every month of those 20 years is some court case and appearance and things. It frankly costs too much to execute
Yeah.
people. It's very, very expensive to execute people. Of course, then there were the good old days of the Wild West when they convicted you and led you straight
Straight
out of the
out.
courtroom to the gallows.
Wait, but he goes on further.
It was not an appealing
No.
time.
He is drawing California out of the lethal injection business, the protocol. They take no more injections.
Well, if he's not going to have any more executions, he's not going to have any more injections.
Yeah.
Well, that could save money
It
for the
seems a little
state.
redundant, doesn't
It
it?
is redundant. But it's a way of telling everybody, look, I'm saving some money for you all. And I mean, they had one execution in
It's cheaper.
Oklahoma. They had to use 3 different kinds of poison to put the guy down.
Well,
It's
that's the
terrible.
funny thing. The people who've been making the stuff that worked well are now won't sell it.
Oh, well, that's true. yes.
So,
Well, did you see that the Special Olympics was in United Arab Emirates this weekend?
really, was that
Yes.
a worldwide?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Really?
Oh, unbelievable. Tony, those Shrivers, they're all right. They're all right. All 5 of them were there. All 5 of them were there.
And
Okay.
4 boys and Maria.
that's
Okay,
all
you
right.
mean the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right. That's okay.
Only one of them looks like the dad.
Huh?
The only one of
What?
them looks like the dad. The others are Ethel up and down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eunice, I mean.
Eunice.
Yeah,
Eunice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're gonna start doing the camp in their backyard again.
oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. All right.
Yeah.
He-
Ethel wasn't part of the
I
family.
know. Well,
Different
she was
bloodline.
married into it.
Different bloodline on things.
Yeah,
so.
they had. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you must have been. You must have seen it. They had in East Boston a 9-alarm fire.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was a casket company in Massachusetts.
Oh,
A
yes,
casket. I didn't
yes.
know it either. I
Well,
did.
it's
I
very
heard
funny because
something.
it turns out that it was known as New England Casket Company.
Right.
But everybody in Eastie called it the East Boston Casket Company.
Oh.
And
Wow.
and when I mentioned it to my sister, who hadn't seen it because she was down walking her dog on a low level, it was very visible from her apartment.
Oh.
You know, it was a building that she was well aware of, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Of course, it burned so completely. I don't know if they'll ever figure out what it was.
I know.
All
But
those.
the first time I saw it from the helicopter, there were flames shooting
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
all 4 corners of that
Well,
building.
they were
you know.
saying that I saw on the news where they said that the building was added to in pieces,
yes.
and I guess it wasn't done well or whatever. So that tells
Yeah.
you right there where were the inspectors for the city of Boston.
But it was all burning in like one piece. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
one
Well, it was-
has
and it's
to.
all gone, right? I mean, it's
It's
completely
gone, gone,
leveled.
gone.
Well,
But apparently, there was a lot of lacquers and lacquer thinners
well,
and
that's
stuff
it.
in there. That
I actually knew a woman who went there. She said because she was shopping for a deal on a casket. Yeah, that's what she said.
that
She
bastard
got
needs
one.
a
I
cheap
saw, I
box.
saw her. She got some kind of a deal.
You cheated on me.
I hope
Just
the
give
guy
him time.
didn't, the husband didn't get splinters or anything.
Well,
he
it's-
wouldn't feel
Oh,
that.
tag. That's all he
You know,
did.
they have those
Okay.
press board ones, that they use for
Props.
cremations
Yeah,
and stuff.
okay, yeah.
Tell the people about New York State and vaccinations.
Oh, I mean, they're not going to let the kids back. Well, it used to be if you had religious objections, you didn't have to get your kid vaccinated. Now they're not letting anybody come back into the classroom because I mean, I was the keeper of the gate when I taught, and
Yeah.
kindergarten. Those parents didn't get past me, and the nurse. That's why the nurse loved Miss Harrington because she'd say, "We go down and talk to Miss Harrington." I'd say, "You don't have to vaccinate your kid, but he's not coming in my room.
Right.
He's not coming in this school because I'm not going to jail for you, lady." So.
Well, unfortunately, they've passed all these laws in various and sundry states giving all kinds of exceptions. If parents, if they feel like it, they cannot.
Yeah.
And every one of those states, to the best of my knowledge,
Yeah.
every one of those states is now having a major measles epidemic.
Right.
And measles, people have forgotten, is a very dangerous
Yeah.
disease.
People can die from it.
What was it? 1918, it
Yeah.
killed hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah. You're right.
It's a dangerous disease, but like Washington State, and Oregon, New York, and stuff, they get a major epidemic because these
All the hippie states,
The scaremongers.
absolutely the hippie
All the
states
hippie
and the
states.
hippie parents
especially Oregon.
Yeah.
are doing the things.
And
So,
I have friends in Oregon whom I love dearly, but it's
yeah,
still,
yeah, but
their motto is keep Oregon keep Oregon strange, or is it keep Portland strange? They've got some kind of weird.
Well, for years and years and years up there, they would tell all the people, their friends across the country, oh, it's dark and gloomy and rains here all the time. You wouldn't like it, because they didn't want people to come.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Beto is running.
Beto's running, and Beto for Beto.
Beto or
Beto.
Beto? Beto?
He says Beto.
Beto, okay.
I don't
I
know
say
if you
tomato.
Want, I don't know. I don't know if you
say
want to take his
tomato
word
and
for
you
it, but he
we
says
got
it's
plenty of
Beto.
time.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot of interesting things about Beto. In the first, like 24 hours after he announced, he collected more money than anybody in history, which I frankly don't understand.
I
thought-
don't believe.
I thought Bernie Boy got 4 million or something.
Yeah,
This
Bernie
guy got
more?
6.
Bernie got a lot.
6.
Hot dog. Somebody really wants the Trump
And I
to
don't
out.
know why. I mean, after all, as far as I can tell, he's just a loser. You know? If I'm going to run a loser, I want to run Stacey
Well,
Abrams.
He's
not,
a bloody
not him.
socialist. Who wants them on the
Well,
run for government?
But Beto now, and it's an interesting thing because this never came out when he was running against Ted Cruz. But now it's come out that he was a member of the Dead Cow
Yeah, I saw
Collective or whatever,
Yeah.
this hackers group when he was a teenager. And there's all these things he wrote on the hackers website, it's sort of murder fantasies and disparaging of women and one thing and another.
Yeah.
He's apparently the one who coined the phrase, or maybe the one who coined the phrase hacktivism.
Ouch.
Activism.
But anyway,
That's right,
these,
I
all these
remember.
things that are hurting him. But then, you know, we had the wonderful, what's her name? The New York Congresswoman. She just declared yesterday that she was running.
Gillibrand.
Kristen Gillibrand.
Close. All right.
And
Not Gillibrand. It's Gillibrand.
Gillibrand.
She pronounces it Gillibrand.
Oh, Gillibrand, like it was with a J, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's Gillibrand. I don't know.
Anyway, there's so many of them in here now. There's two things that have come to my mind. Even people like Beto O'Rourke are raising big money. But I'm worried that with 112 candidates, each raising big money, when it comes time for the real election,
Yeah.
there won't be any money left out there.
It's
You know, that
Yeah.
bothers me. I think we should start knocking these people
Whittling them
off.
up. Yeah.
plenty of money. There's all this money from these television series. What are you worrying about? Everybody's getting
What do you mean,
paid.
the PACs? What do you call them?
They're all getting
Television
money.
series?
What?
What are you talking about, television series?
Well, these people that are the ones who will get paid out 100,000 or 500,000.
Oh, you're going back to the admissions
Yeah,
scandal.
I mean
Oh.
they got a lot of money.
This
Yeah,
is-
but they're not. But they're not. They're putting it in trying to get their kids into schools.
That's this month. Next month is something different.
Anyway, the other thing that gets me is I've decided that the only way to deal with this at this point, which is, 11 months out on things, is instead of starting to tick off who I like among that big field, I'm marking off the people who I'm disposing of from the big field.
Oh.
And Beto's been marked off. Kristen Gillibrand's been marked
Marked
off.
off.
Of course, Bernie was marked off 4 years ago. Bernie Sanders,
Very
the
cruel.
only candidate who would guarantee the reelection of Donald J. Trump. You know?
He says that too.
And as I keep checking these people off, I mean, I can't forgive Gillibrand for who was our senator from that they chased out. You know, the guy from Saturday Night Live,
Oh yeah, Franken.
Al Franken.
Oh, when you said ours, I thought you Massachusetts.
not
He was
Massachusetts.
Oh,
Minnesota.
she chased him out.
Yeah, Al Franken.
I mean, in that case, I meant progressive
Yeah, yeah,
senator.
okay.
He was a good man.
And she was the 80% of chasing him out of the
He
Senate.
said it.
And
No chance.
and now it turns out that her like chief of staff has been repeatedly accused of sexual harassment, and she's done nothing about it.
Nothing about it.
So she's falls in the hypocrite category.
We should ask Al
should
to
get Al to
consider
come back.
running again.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, we should.
I think Al should run. He should
think
run
he
on the
should.
basic thing of you know exactly what happened.
right.
You can vote for me or not.
No.
I bet he'd be reelected.
I'm telling you.
in a
What's
big
what's
hurry.
happening with Brexit?
Oh,
That's
more
even
and more trouble.
more in trouble.
More and more trouble.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. She actually thought she'd achieved something of a deal when I don't know exactly the details, but somehow the European Union agreed to make an agreement that they wouldn't have to have a hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland,
Yeah, I
which was
thought that
one of
was-
the major concerns.
Right.
'Cause Ireland is not going to accept a hard border again
No.
there. And apparently she made this deal and she came back triumphantly like Chamberlain
And
went in and got totally outvoted again on the
Again.
thing. So now I think their next vote is to request the European Union to give them another extension. And I am prepared to bet the entire contents of my wallet that the European Union will say,
that's it. Are they going to revote? That's the question. To
I don't know.
reconsider.
well, the thing is, the other possibility is that they'll ask the union to allow them to rescind.
Yeah.
And the union has also almost 100% basically said, no, we're
No,
not
we don't
interested.
We don't want you back.
We don't need you.
So right now, is the dollar, is the pound weak or strong?
Very weak.
Compared to us, I don't.
So it's worth a trip over, huh?
Huh?
So it's worth a vacation over there now.
It could be.
Could
yeah.
be,
Wow.
yeah.
Might be a good moment.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend who went
I
over.
think it's like $1.35 or something.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
quote
that's
me
low.
on that. I
Well,
don't
the
know.
last time I went, it was $1.50 for every pound.
Yeah.
So they were stronger.
First time I went, it was $2.60.
Now, here's a sad story.
And historically, like before World War II, I think it was $5.
$5 for every pound. Every
$5 to buy a pound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
This school
Right.
principal-
What was it when you were there?
It was more. It was $1.07.
No. I mean, I'm talking in
pound?
WWII.
the big
I'm
one.
talking in World War II.
Oh, well, that was $5 to
yeah.
the pound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big money.
$5 a pound.
Yeah.
How long were you in England?
Not long. We went.
You're on your way through to North
Yeah,
Africa.
to
right?
North Africa. Yeah. We went there.
Wow.
Listen, it's the high schools in New Jersey. Turns out that what this principal decided that the reason he has such high absenteeism,
Yeah.
you like this, is because there are so many kids who are walking around and they're not living they're homeless.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I buy into that. And he talked to the kids and their parents. They don't want to come to school because they're dirty. That's what they told me.
There's some schools, at least I saw this thing on TV, where there's some schools in the South where some principal put in a bank of washers and dryers.
That's what this is in Newark, New
yeah,
Jersey.
and so and the teachers or there's some people that come in and they'll wash your clothes and fold them and all that. I'd love that because I love doing laundry. I don't know what it is, but I love doing laundry. I'd be the first volunteer.
Good for you.
Sue,
Yeah,
can we discuss this, please?
I love doing laundry. I don't know.
I got a bag at home. I'll bring it over.
I got a
next week.
lot of law.
You know who used to love oh God, from High Times and Dad, the one that's passed away, the son that's passed away, the tap dancer. He used to love doing laundry. His daughter said his father used to like drape himself over her washing machine.
I think they're both gone.
No,
No?
the
Okay, Gregory's gone.
Gregory, that's it's Gregory.
Yeah.
The other one's still alive.
Okay.
But yeah, Gregory loved doing laundry.
I saw them. I saw Heinz and Dad
Yeah.
at the old Boston Playboy Club in Park Square
Good for you.
1,000 years ago.
It is 1,000 years ago.
And I was so impressed. I was in a room the size of this studio,
All
and they
right.
were
That's
performing their
good.
hearts out.
Wow.
Yeah. It was great.
Don't
anyway,
go-
ladies and
Wait
gentlemen,
a minute, don't
let
go
me-
snowmobiling in Maine because a lot
We
of
don't
people.
have
Trust
any
me,
time
don't
for
go
any-
snowmobiling
go ahead.
anywhere.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the 23rd from 2 to 4, Tommy Vitola was holding a social at the VFW Post. You might want to go. It's free. Good conversation. Good night. We will see you next week, same time, same station, at the Fun Show here at Big TV.